Welcome back. We're looking at sinking our teeth into this issue of the, as they say, the presidential debate. What's going on with our power sector? And to help us understand exactly what the situation is, I have with me Mr. Femi Oke, who is also an energy lawyer. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Femi Oke. You've had to deal with, you've talked power for so long. I mean, if there's anybody that can help us understand the situation, probably it's you. And so let's see if we can do this. Let's begin with this thing. Buhari to Obasanjo, after 16 years, after $16 billion, where's the power? What's your take?
Thank you very much, Nita, for having me. It's nothing new. But I don't think, sincerely speaking, what the president has said about the power sector is completely right. In as much as we're not denying that, it's documented. Just last year, we did a report for SERAP. The title of the report, 64-page report, widely published, is online, is From Darkness to Darkness. If you Google From Darkness to Darkness or corruption in the power sector, it's going to pop up. It's available to be downloaded. And we said Nigeria has lost well over $16 billion from 1999 up until 2013. And that we said the rate or the way the current administration is going will probably be worse off, because if they spend well over $16 billion in a period of about 16 years, and the current administration has spent well over $2 billion in about 2 years, then by the time they're spending 16 years, let's do the calculation. So I don't think that's the way to go. We have serious problem in this sector. And the challenge of this sector is not one of funding, essentially. It's a mixture of funding, regulatory challenges, bureaucracy, massive corruption. We documented about 36 cases of corruption in the power sector. High-profile corruption, some of which were actually charged to court. Some never charged to court. They are all there in the report. Mind-boggling amount of money involved. EFC representative of the chairman of the EFCC came to the presentation of the report. When we presented it publicly, the media people were there. They asked us questions to confirm. All facts were laid bare for everybody to see. But I am not convinced, or I won't subscribe to the fact that the entire 16 billion actually was stolen or lost. I will give some credit to the Obasanjo regime, and my reasons are simple. One, it was during Obasanjo's regime that we saw massive investment in the power sector that had been left unattended to for decades. It was during Obasanjo regime that we have about 13 power plants. And that led to the bringing on board of Niger Delta Power Holding Company. It was IPP before. Then they changed it. They created a kind of a holding company to hold the asset. We have several of them, Olorin Shogo, a lot of them, Olorin Shogo, Papaland. So many power plants, about 13 of them. Those assets now are being contemplated for privatization under the current regime. It was during Obasanjo, the last regime of Obasanjo and Jonathan that we had the so-called Mambila. It's been on, but a lot of money went into Mambila. And there are several projects that now also happen on now. It's the initiative of the previous administration.
So would it be right to say the $16 billion was used? Maybe not properly?
The report that we brought out there actually mentioned $16 billion squandered in the power sector. We said we've invested so much to the tune of $16 billion, perhaps more. We haven't seen the result. And we could see the assets. And we had cases of corruption documented nothing had been done satisfactorily. They're there. I don't want to mention names here. So we now put together, of course, the massive corruption or lack of transparency, questionable privatization, who sold what and who bought what. And a whole lot of issues with the privatization. We tracked those, what the government lost. Actually, the government did not make any money in the privatization. They sold all those things at a loss. Even the legacy debt of the power holding, staff of power holding company were written off. Instead of buying both the asset and liability, government extricated the liability, put it in NEMCO, and sold assets. And the existing debt of customers running to billions of naira, which were owed to NEPA and PSN, were also given to the new entities. A whole lot of issues, a whole lot of regulatory issues that government should not be doing, regulating power sector that if it's off-grid. And my colleague, of course, recently agreed with me at a seminar in Kaduna for judges and others, when he said actually he will agree with Yemi because he now went back to read the provisions of the Electric Power Sector Reform Act. That's Dr. Amadi, highly celebrated scholar. He says, Yemi, now that I'm off the seat, I went back to read all these laws, which never really had serious time to read because he was busy with regulation. He said, a critical consideration or interpretation of the law will appear that actually it's state government that should be licensing the discourse. I said, why did it took you so long before you agree with me? The discourse should be licensed by state government. It took almost 10 to 15 years of my advocacy for Lagos state government to pass their law to say, oh, now we want to regulate the power sector. We haven't seen much. We started the initial work with them, but of course some other things happened. So it's not right to say the Obasanjo regime stole or squandered $16 billion. Well, in excess of $16 billion have been spent in the power sector right from the Obasanjo regime up until Jonathan. The investments are there, the assets are there. We're questioning how the privatization exercise was conducted, who bought what, we felt some assets were sold to some political entities.
In your report, you mentioned lack of effective monitoring and supervision.
Yes.
So if we're looking at that part of effective monitoring and supervision, yes, you said that the assets are there for everyone to see.
Yeah.
So at what point did we miss out on the monitoring? Is it at the state, or is it at the federal level? Maybe because the different entities did not go back to the law and say, okay, this is what my role is, and that's what your role is.
We got it wrong completely from the inception, and we're still getting it wrong the more. Okay, I don't want to talk politics now. I was in this studio when we were doing a year review, quite on the news. I think that was Sean Kimbaloy. We were doing a review of the power sector and what the current administration promised. They promised 10,000 megawatts per annum, 4 years thinking they're going to add like 40,000 megawatts. And I said, they will not even be able to add 1,000 megawatts in 4 years.